Oh no!
No!
Yeah!
Ring!
Oh, welcome back to a magnificent Schmoedown reaction right here and dedicated to art. Of course, it is the family making their long-expected return, and they're facing Inky and the Brain. I am, as usual, your host, Case Grenadis, joined by Nico Rigoli and Chris Delman. And let's drop the act for a second. Anywho, guys, welcome. We're about to have a reaction, and I think one team is going to dominate, and that's about all I have to say about that. Nico, for some reason you think the other team has some kind of chance, which I'm like, what?
Okay, so Rachel Silvestrini is like the mama bear of the Schmoedown fan community and like the Schmoedown behind the scenes stuff. Like she helps keep things together. And Devin Stewart is one of those competitors that needs a lot of attention to improve. Who's going to make sure he makes the improvements better than Rachel Silvestrini? She's going to be on him like wildfire until he makes those improvements necessary to get to a victory. And it showed in their last performance, and I feel like it will show again in this performance.
Over the family, though?
Yeah, because, this is still... okay, Andrew Guy is not the best competitor, but Drew McWeeny is arguably one of the best, at least team players ever. Look, of course, in singles, he sometimes has bad luck, but in teams, he really shines because where he essentially faults in singles, that's where he needs a teammate, and it doesn't really matter who he has as a teammate. A teammate will do. And, so in that regard, I'm like, yeah, it's the family. And look, Devin Stewart, he needs a lot of luck. He needs a lot of luck with the questions with categories that get asked to even stand a chance, really, because otherwise he just doesn't have the overall knowledge. He's a little bit like me in that regard. Like, if I got a good category, oh yeah, I'll run the table on it. But you need to get that one good category, and it's like a spin of 1 in 14 or something. I don't know what the odds are.
Yeah.
Chris?
And all due respect to Devon, he's a hell of a personality. I like watching him on screen because I think he's a lot of fun. And, I like Silvestrini. But I really wish that she had told him to just shut up. We're not challenging the family when he made that call in that post-match.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, he challenged corruption. He challenged corruption, and instead they got the family.
Well,
either way, I mean...
They're way above their pay grade with this one.
Unfortunately, they are, because, I think Andrew Guy is just as fine of a fine player as you can get. But, of course, because he's the perfect heel, everybody loves him, and as a person outside of this whole thing, he's just a true doll. I love him. But, and Drew McQueen...
That's the thing. His actual personality is the complete opposite of what he's playing.
Oh my God, yes. But and Drew McWeeny, former team's champion, one of the best, inarguably. But that said, Andrew's coming off of the worst defeat in his entire career. So you know what? I think he's gonna slack a little bit in this match. Now that doesn't mean that I'm saying Inky and the Brain's automatically going to win, but the family's going to suffer. They're going to suffer quite a bit.
I doubt it.
I
really
don't.
Doubt it.
I wouldn't.
Everyone has their opinion, and in about less than 40 minutes, this short one, in less than 40 minutes, we'll find out who's won. And considering that it's a short one, usually also considering the fact that these are talkers, it will be a very short match, and then the family will have another KO, and they'll be 2-0, and then the question is who the first match. But we'll see that after the match.
What was the family's first match?
Yeah, against Tom Dagnino and Ben Bateman.
By the way, happy birthday to Ben Bateman.
Happy birthday, indeed.
Happy birthday, Ben.
But guys, I think we should just start watching this thing in 3, 2, 1, play.
Drew!
Oh,
My man!
hello.
No tap dance. How is he?
It's great.
He is great. He's ready.
Is he?
He's got a fire in his belly like I've never seen.
All right, no. Just, is he ready mentally? Is he ready physically to actually play the game?
Thank you, McWeenie.
You know what? He might have had a misstep, but he's got the fire he needs to win. Didn't I?
How's his back?
Yeah.
Let's destroy these rubes.
Oh.
All right, that's good for me.
Yep. That works. That works.
Drew's just like, the monster's been unleashed. I'm ready to go.
So yes, forgive me guys if I have a little breakfast while we watch this reaction.
Yeah, early morning. Yay for scheduling.
Welcome back to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. I'm Christian Harloff, it's Mark Ellis, and it is the teams division, and we have some kind of battle going on here today. It is the family versus Inky and the Brain. Now, Mark, the way this all came down is that Inky and the Brain, they had a match against the movie guys. It was a battle to the end, and the movie guys looked like they were going to be this new rookie sensation. They were going to win their first match, but Inky and the Braid said, won the match. But it was the surprising thing that happened in the post interview, to where Devon Stewart, who was he was confident and ready. He challenged the family of Drew Guy and Drew McWeenie and said, "Let's do it."
Yeah, there's a lot of Drews.
I swear he challenged
match,
corruption.
Christian. Nice to be calling it with you, a real Wyoming
Maybe
cowboy.
rewatch it.
But when you look at
I
Inky and the
honestly don't
Brain,
remember
it reminds
that
me of
well.
Pinky and the Brain because they want to take over the world. They always have a scheme and maybe getting ahead of themselves by challenging a team composed of players as good as what we see with the two Drews in the family.
Well, that's what you would think, right? But the other side of that is, what if they win? If they win today, then they catapult themselves into maybe in the top 5. They're in the top 10 right now.
Automatically in the conversation for a belt if they get the W here today.
They go to 2-1 against Drew McWeenie and Drew Guy. They are in the conversation. So maybe Devon Stewart's not as crazy as we think, or maybe he is, but it's a good kind of crazy.
He's very, very dangerously insane.
So that is why these teams
Positively
win. And then
crazy.
after the events of Houston, how's the
So
family
that would make
feeling right
Devon the
Physically,
Brain.
mentally, emotionally?
We don't know. So is that going to pay some kind of effect on them also? So this is a very interesting match. It's not the match we thought
Can
we
I
were
just
going to
get an
get
hour-long
before
loop of
Houston. There's
that,
a lot of
please?
things going on right now. So
I'm assuming Jeremy
the
Hastings
family,
has made a
and
gif
we
of
heard
that.
from both of them.
Oh,
Here we go.
Jeremy, send me a link.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Maybe Houston didn't go as well as we would have liked.
Oof.
Inky and the
Yes.
Brain, I don't even know who these people are.
Hi guys, it's Inky and the Brain.
Yeah.
Inky the Brain, this big victory. Devon, he wants to challenge Andrew Guy.
I did yoga before I came today, and I'm ready for anybody. Bring it on, Andrew Guy and Drew McQueenie. We going against the family. La Familia.
Okay, I was wrong.
El Chupacabra. Whatever you want to call them, we going against them right now, and we going to take them out.
So we beat the movie guys in a really fun match, really good match. And then all of a sudden, Mr. Big Drawers over here wants to go and challenge the family.
First of all, my draws is
Mr. Big
What,
Drawers.
they played 2 matches. I got one of the greatest of all time right here. A stone cold killer. And me, the greatest of all time. Andrew Guy against who?
Rachel, have some confidence. Let's do it. Give him a girl face.
Yeah,
that was hot. Can I do that one more time? Girl, you stop it. It's crazy.
You know what I'm gonna do to these 2 idiots? I'm gonna step over and keep moving on because they don't even belong in the ring with me. They don't even deserve to look at this man.
Oh, I just realized
What you got?
something. It's Coho and Jim.
It's over. We
As-
about to whoop yo.
Zip it.
No. That's assuming that you win the other match.
We have to win our first match, but I'm
And they
getting
have to
cocky.
win theirs. They have to win theirs.
Yeah, I'm getting cocky.
you can.
I want them.
Drew Guy, yeah, he's
I want you guys
still
to,
got that thing, but his
to
swagger's
get
a
there as
little
well
off there.
because
No, it's a little
there's
off.
a
There's a
history.
little bit of a, somebody who's been to the lows recently kind of look. So it's not the normal cocky. He's not breaking anything in the studio. That's nice to hear. And Drew
that's
McWeeny,
gonna be
the
a good
usual
match.
confidence you would get from somebody like that.
Yes.
But seeing them together, we always talk about this with team matches, is how's the chemistry going to be? I see a lot of chemistry right now between Devon and Rachel. Interesting to see how that's going to play out under the lighted stage.
Well, we're going to find out. Here's the tail of the tape. Inky and the Brain, Denzel Washington.
I would say
movies,
beyond the light
rom-coms,
stage,
Disney
but sadly
movies,
none of you
and
guys are Rush
challenging
fans, so you wouldn't
whoever's
get
in
it.
front of them, even if they shouldn't play them.
Okay.
And then you have the family. You've got the family, Drew Guy, Drew McWeeny. You actually, the funny thing is here, rom-coms, big strength there too.
Is
80s
that
movies,
real?
that's true. 80s movies, 70s movies, and either throwing someone through a table or being thrown through a table. Big strength.
Big strength for them. The family that throws tables together stays together.
Why not? Are you ready to get going, my friend?
I thought I was until I said that.
That's okay. We're all allowed a couple. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia Schmoedown.
It's not exactly give me that throat, boy.
That was horrible.
Introducing first, with a record of 1 win, 1 defeat. Give it up for
Brain
Rachel
is
and
Inky and the brain. One is a genius, the other's insane.
All right. Wyatt having some issues with the curtain. Rachel, no such problems getting through there, waving to the crowd. Seems like they might have won over the studio audience here already.
It's funny because Devon was getting booed about a year ago when he was with the Kingsmen, but today him and Rachel have become very beloved as we get into.
Yeah, when he was pretending to be British.
This is the
Oh,
number
Lord.
12 ranked team. And their
As part of the
opponents,
Kingsmen, yes.
led to the ring by their manager, the captain, Robert Meyer Burnett, with a record of 1 win, no defeat. They're the ranked number 17, Dastardly Drew
As despicable
Guy,
as Dastardly
the
Drew Guy
Godfather
is,
Drew
damn does he have
McWeeny,
taste
the
in music.
family.
Ah, look at Robert Meyer Burnett. And,
Still not a
Green
fan of that
Booze.
jacket.
Oh, I love that
Look
jacket.
at Guy's limping there.
I can't
Come
get
out
enough
and
of it.
Guy's limping.
a guy still
Jack
believes in
screams
himself, but
personality.
maybe not 100% here.
Look at this move. They have been kind of together. I mean, it's a strange trio. There's no
Keep it in
doubt
your mouth,
about
Chris.
Kind of giving them some sort of Lombardi pep talk.
Boo
there.
them.
But is that something though? Drew Guy, who usually is moving fast, and he's not moving.
He's
as
usually
good as he used to.
dancing.
He's not dancing today.
Second only
well-
to Makuga in dancing.
Second only to Makuga.
I thought I knew who Booker was. Apparently, he doesn't recognize greatness.
Well, you know, like he said, it could be maybe. you weren't
17
completely
to
honest.
5 KO. That's not great news.
the way some people could look at
What
it.
some people would say,
Some people could
was
look at
Andrew honest? Will Devon have a British accent? A lot to
That
uncover
sucker
here
didn't dig
on
it.
Match Today.
All right.
Honesty is subjective.
Ah.
The teams have
Well
sat
done.
down. They are here. They are ready to go. And Mark, give us the rules for round number 1.
You take a nap, I'll handle this. In
Please.
round number 1, this is the team format, but it is an individual exercise because a question will be asked to the field, 8 of them in total. You must rely on your knowledge alone. Your teammate may not help you in round number 1. As soon as you have a question, please write down your best attempt at an answer on the whiteboard in front of you. You have about 15 seconds to do so. Once we address you by name to give us your answer, please show what you wrote on the whiteboard to your camera. At the same time, you
All right, Nico,
verbalize
don't-
it into the
don't make me
microphone.
regret
Each
not
question
taking Corey
is
Quinto
worth
for a
1
partner.
point. That point will be part of your team's total. There's no penalty for missing
Hey,
a question. There's no stealing in round
the
number 1. I'll
fandom
remind
work
each team
I've
of
been
your
putting
3
in.
usages
Yes,
of
you
The,
have.
re- the regular movie
JTE
stuff, give me a
duration
little
of the
more
match.
time.
Now, sure, you heard a question right. You need to buy yourself
Well,
some
look,
time.
we
Use
just
the
need to focus on
JTE
that
rule,
first-
and
that
you also
first
each
team
have
match
one
in
challenge
fandom.
as a team to be used
Then
at
we'll
any
do what we gotta
time
do there.
during the 3
And then
rounds.
afterwards-
KGH, back to you.
All right. That
We're
being
getting
said,
to
we're going to
work.
ask the family first. You guys ready to go?
I'll be watching some black and white movies.
Yeah, we're ready.
And Inky in the brain.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Then let's get ready
Ready
to
to
Schmoedown.
Bah,
It
bah,
was
bah,
not a
bah.
British accent.
It was not. Question number 1 comes in the realm of action adventure. Action adventure. Name 2 of the 3 actresses who are the angels from 2000's Charlie's Angels. You like
Saw it
these
in the
movies?
theater in college.
You loved it, didn't you?
Not really.
No. First one better than the second one, at least.
No.
What? 5.
Yes.
4. Tell me later.
But that's not saying that much.
2. Yep.
Oh, that's early.
Name 2 of the 3 actresses
The hell?
for the Angels from 2000's Charlie's Angels.
Who asked for the what? Oh no.
Oh,
Inky.
Devon.
Match.
I think I have one correct. I'm not sure about the other.
We're gonna take shit from.
I recently rewatched this movie, so I know that these two are correct.
And
Wearing
5,
sweatpants, my friend.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please.
Lucy Liu and Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz,
Diaz.
Drew Barrymore, and Lucy Liu.
Of course
Oh, I got it! Yay!
Yeah, you did.
He got all 3. Still
Rachel?
1 point.
Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz.
Yes, Andrew Guy.
Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and then you got Bill Murray down there at the bottom, just a little love.
Devon Stewart.
You should probably take that away because he put a man on there, but Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu.
You got it.
There
Okay,
it is.
2-2.
Nice.
JTE rule early though.
I wasn't sure about Drew
Pays off.
Barrymore.
It worked. Okay, next
Good
Your
job,
next
She's in
category
there.
comes from the world of crime movies. Crime movies. This 2011 Nicholas Winding Refn film
Oh my
starred
God,
Ryan
yes.
Great
Gosling
movie.
as a Hollywood
this
stuntman.
movie.
Winding.
The Nicholas, I call the guy Ambien. I fall asleep family too.
I'm not even remembering a trailer for this.
The guy makes a good.
It's
movie.
one
It's
word.
2 hours.
Poe Dameron's in it.
5.
Is it Winding?
Yeah, Poe Dameron's in it.
Today it'll be Winding. 3.
Nope.
2,
Nothing. Nope.
1. Pens down.
Drive.
please.
Drive.
Rachel.
Drive.
Yes.
Oh,
Andrew
come
Guy.
on. Damn it.
Devon. And Drew
It's
McQueen.
arguably Nicholas Winding
And we are
Refn's
tied up.
best movie.
4-4.
I did enjoy that movie, Nicholas. If you're watching.
Next question comes in the realm of dramas.
I don't know if I can
Dramas.
say that.
Which
Okay, at
actress
least
plays an
universally
ambitious young
liked.
woman
Yes,
named
yes,
Natalie
it's universally
in
loved.
2009's Up in the Air.
See, now you're talking.
I don't know.
Now
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
talking. I mean, that's a good movie too, but I like Up in the Air.
Very sad beginning.
What, Up in the
Nominated
Air?
for Best Picture, but
Rip your
I have a
heart out.
guess.
Run out of time.
We'll see.
Run out of time.
2,
Hurry up.
1.
nervous, Drew?
Pens down. Pens down, please.
Kate
We
Winslet.
start
Thank
with
you.
Anna
Andrew Guy.
Kendrick.
What was it?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Anna
Anna Kendrick,
Dakota
thank you.
Fanning.
No, I'm not nervous, Rachel.
Devon.
Don't talk to me.
I put Naomi Watts.
That's incorrect. Drew McQueenie.
No, that would be Anna Kendrick.
And Rachel.
Anna Kendrick.
Okay, so that's still Family 6, Inky and the Brain 5.
They have been cut.
Why are you wasting my time, Christian?
Well, you better not talk too much. We saw what happened a couple weeks ago. Let's go to now number 4.
Yeah, that's going to be animated. These are movies drawn by hand or on a computer. Your question: the 2015 film Home features which famous singer voicing the main human character, Tip?
Fun fact about this movie.
Oh,
This is the only
crap.
movie that my daughter ever wanted to
What?
walk out on.
I've never heard of this movie.
It
Your
sucks.
daughter in the studio audience here.
Oh,
Asked her.
crap.
Exclusive interview.
She didn't like
I
it.
mean,
Daughter's
I
hot
know
take.
who voices
Oh.
the alien, but
4,
shoot.
3,
You can
2,
stand under her
1.
umbrella.
Hands down, Devon.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Okay.
Drew McKinney.
I do not have it.
Rachel.
I said Sierra.
And Drew. Didn't have it. It's only Devon. Ties up the game.
Wow.
Ties up the game with that.
But
only
this
goal.
just
That's a
shows
big
that
goal.
nobody
That's a
gives a
big
fuck
takes
about
me
this
over.
movie.
Black
Team Brain is able to hang around this match.
Yeah.
I think they're going to win over the crowd even more, and it's going to make the family a little nervous.
Fantasy sci-fi. Fantasy sci-fi. Which fantasy franchise features the characters Mr. Tumnus, Fenris Ulf,
Tumnus.
and Trumpkin the Dwarf?
Tumnus.
Name. You know, Fenris Ulf.
What?
The all-time great.
I got this one.
Nerd calls.
There's another one that
Ow.
I won't mention because it might give it away, but you made me laugh.
Oh, I remember.
5.
The first one's really good. The second one is pretty good. The third one,
1 pens down. Drew McQueenie.
The Chronicles of
Narnia.
Narnia.
That would be correct. Rachel.
Narnia.
Oh, I've never watched any of those movies. That's why. Sorry, they just don't seem that good. I mean, I don't know.
I was forced to read the book in grade school.
Yeah, exactly.
honestly, the final battle in the
All right,
first
here's
one,
the next question.
I'd say
All right,
is on
next
par with
categories from the world of comedies. Ha 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 ha. And your question:
the
Who
final
plays
battle in
the
Return
role
of
of
the King.
Shaka King, the director of the Blunt Man and Chronic film in Jay and Silent Bob Strike
Oh,
Back?
ha 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 ha!
Big round of applause from RB3.
That's right. Robert
And
Butler
of course,
III.
Nico
You got
knows
2 more
this,
JTs
and I
you
don't.
can use.
Ah, man. You're right.
5, 4,
Because unlike
3,
everyone else, I love this movie.
2,
White man. I'm not white.
1. Pens down.
Chris Rock.
Pens down. And
That's already wrong, I can tell you.
Pens down.
Yeah.
And we got Rachel.
Chris Rock.
Yes. Drew. Yes.
Chris Rock.
And Devon.
I went Ben Affleck this time.
Incorrect. Drew McQueenie.
Chris Rock.
Okay, so there we go. The family taking their lead back. Von Miss. Well, Rachel playing lights
Somebody
out.
get my lawyer.
And
I am not
next
getting
question,
sued by George Lucas.
So McQueenie's playing how he always plays. Thank you.
I said he is.
I'm talking about him.
I said.
Horror
This
slash
guy's sitting on a bed of nails, isn't he?
Look, my back hurts. All right, and I'm pissed.
horror thriller. Horror thriller. Adapted from a Stephen King novel. What film takes place in the fictional town of Derry, Maine?
Gee, I wonder.
Oh shit. I hope this is a Stephen King book.
McQueenie looks like a clean cat.
You're writing down too much, Nico.
4, that's true. 3, 2, 1. Pens down.
It.
Oh, I had the mist.
That's correct. Devon.
I was trying to fake him out because I was actually suspenseful.
Yes, McQueenie and Rachel. It. Okay, so 12-11. This is a tight game
Inky
here.
and the Brain hanging right there. A chance to possibly take the lead depending on what happens with our last question in round number 1. And that is a Patreon question. And this Patreon question comes to us from Andy Schick. How about a hand for Andy?
Thank you, Andy. I haven't seen you in a while.
Thanks for supporting the show, Andy. If you want to have your name read on a future episode of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, check out the Patreon. Select which tier is right for you. Andy Schick wanted this category to be new releases. New releases. And the question from Mr. Schick is, in Fighting with My Family, great movie, what actor, often seen in comedic roles, plays WWE trainer Hutch Morgan, who is in charge of selecting candidates? Did you get a chance to see this film?
I am not a fan of this guy.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's true.
Get over yourself. He's
That's
fine.
actually true. And every 3 seconds, oh, this is real. This actually happened.
5. Never once did I say that.
This
5.
Mark, that's Vince McMahon.
He's not even in the movie. 3, 2.
Yeah, thank God Vince
Pens down, please,
McMahon's not in the movie.
and Devon.
Vince Vaughn.
Incorrect. Drew McQueenie.
Would that be Nick Frost?
Incorrect. Rachel.
I can't pull his name, but he's Mr. Chicago.
Incorrect.
Wow.
Drew.
John Cena.
Wow, nobody got it. Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Come
They are
on.
not so money.
Didn't
here,
watch that
Christian.
movie. It's on iTunes.
Wow.
Yeah, I also didn't watch
That's,
it.
I'm
It
shocked.
came
It's
out
in the
like 3
trailers.
weeks
Clearly,
ago.
they
I
did
don't
not see
know.
the movie
In
along
the
with you and I.
trailers.
4 points. Yay.
Who was it? Who was the answer? Who was
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Okay, so here's to round number 2. Now 12-11. The family going into round number 2 with a 1-point lead.
And I think even the biggest Inky and the Brain supporters might be a little surprised happen in round number 2 because the Wheel of Fate, Doom, and Justice emerges from behind the curtain. You'll see the fan favorite opponent's choice and what every competitor hopes to get spinner's choice along with 10 other movie trivia categories. 2 of those slices, and as a matter of fact, the entire wheel are sponsored by a Schmoedown patron, John Layton.
Wow.
How about a hand for
Thank
you,
John? John Layton sponsored the entire wheel. The 2 slices that John Layton
If I
wanted
were
to
playing the
highlight
family,
are
I would
Kurt
just
Russell
stack the entire
and
room
Kate
with
Winslet.
chairs
So
just to
those who
psych
sit on the
Drew
wheel,
out.
8 other different slices that are in different realms of the movie trivia Schmoedown know-how. Once
That's
you spin that
horrible.
wheel, you may select the category you spin, or you can get a.
And they'd all have
multi-choice
photos of
golf
Booker
or
T's
duo.
face on
Once
them.
you settle on a category, this is the team format, so each team is going to hear 6 questions from that genre. Each question is worth 2 points. There's no penalty for missing a question. However, there is stealing available in round number 2. So if you're not sure the answer, you can ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1. The teams may confer with each other for each and every question in round number 2.
All right, so the Inky and the Brain has used 1 JTE. The family has not used any yet. So the family is in the lead, so they will get a chance to either go first or second. Guys, what would you like to do?
They are going to spin.
They're going to go spin
We like
first.
to play from behind.
All right, so let's go Rachel and Devon. Who's going to go? Rachel,
Of
please
course.
go from the wheel.
I was about to say,
Not
did
the
Guy
peg.
turn into Bateman there
Wheel,
for a
not the
moment?
Will Rachel spin from the
But
wheel?
let's-
No,
She's got it.
that's also Guy.
That's a great spin.
They,
That
you
is
know,
a great
they're
spin.
looking for Disney movies.
Look at how much fun they're
Yeah,
having.
they're looking for
Christian.
Disney movies. Oh, they're looking for it, and they hit Kurt Russell. He's going to go
Kurt
spin away
Russell.
from it.
Spinning away from one of the greatest
So
American
confident.
treasures of all time.
It's
That's
not
not going to win them any
you know, he's been-
favor.
he's
You're
kinda
right.
like
To
big
the
for
opponent's
whoever.
choice.
Yeah, he's in a lot.
It looks like Kevin Smith movies.
Kevin Smith.
There you go.
Kevin Smith.
That's one of their strengths.
Nico, this is all you.
Rumor has it that is one of their strengths. So here we go. In the world of Kevin Smith movies, and we start.
Hopefully it's
your
not
first
Red
of 6
State that
questions
gets
with one of
asked.
Kevin Smith's best in Jersey Girl. the family decides to do a song from Sweeney Todd for the talent show, while everyone else does a song from what musical?
Oh.
She knew it. 2 points.
Wow.
Oh.
Off to a hot start in round number 2. Your next question. What actor plays an eccentric detective named Guy Lapointe in Tusk and Yoga Hosers?
I think that's Johnny Depp, actually.
Yeah, that sounds right.
5, 4, 3,
Repeat
2.
the question.
Because his daughter's in it.
Which
So
actor plays an eccentric detective named Guy Lapointe in Tusk and Yoga Hosers?
Johnny Depp.
Wow,
Give him
she
2
is
points.
good. What a great way to play the game there. Very impressive by Silvestrini there. She took her time, used the JT rule, and got the question.
And now we move to your third question, 6 in round number 2. What actor has a cameo as a hippie named Brent, who Jay throws out of a van in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Okay, this is not the Carrie Fisher role, but this is.
You're trying to will the answer into rate.
5.
If I go multiple choice, I'll know it.
3.
Sean William Scott.
That's another 2 points.
Wow!
Wow, look at Rachel Silvestrini coming to play ball right now.
Whew, boy.
I just want you to know I actually did help
Kevin
with that
Smith.
one.
Round number
Back
2.
up off me.
You got to think the family's shaking in their boots a little bit. Your next question.
Ellis, come on.
What type of food does Veronica bring to Dante for lunch in Clerks?
Lasagna.
Oh.
Wow. Rachel
Oh, yeah.
Silvestrini is on fire.
That's right. All right. Your next question in the world of Kevin Smith movies. This question is for Rachel, but Devon is also there.
I'm here to keep the hair out of face. There you go, Chris.
In which film is Silent Bob asked for advice and he responds with, "I got nothing"?
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
No, I think it is. It is.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Mallrats, B, Dogma, C, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, or D, Clerks 2?
Good strategy. Limits the steal if they get it wrong.
5, 4, 3.
Clerks 2.
Give him a point.
What?
Give him a point.
Oh,
It's now
okay.
20 to
I'm getting my
12
scenes
to
mixed
Brandon,
up
and they
then.
have
You know
one
what? It's
question.
coming back to me now.
Wild,
Yeah, I
wacky,
remember.
wonderful world of Kevin Smith movies. Your final question.
Damn
for
you,
2
Silent
points
Bob.
And possibly a 10-point lead. Who plays the demon Azrael in Dogma?
Jason Lee.
That is 2 more points. And what an
yes.
impressive round number 2 by Inky in the Brain. Christian, they're in double-digit lead territory
Yeah, they know
over
they're
Drew
Kevin
McQueenie
Smith.
and Drew Guy.
Drew McQueenie is now. You know that Drew's looking. Drew has that
Gotta know
magic
how to
touch.
play the
If he
game
hits
with the wheel.
80s, if he hits 80s, we're
Want to share some of that Capri Sun in that flash right there?
Drew wants that 80s.
Confident spin. Drew McQueenie looking very
I
unfazed
think
right
they
now.
take
He's
most
been here before.
categories
He's
to
a
be
former
fair.
team champion.
But he might have just spun
Oh,
himself
he
into
might have done
opponent's
it,
choice
or
or
not.
80s.
Oh, comedy.
Ooh, so
That's
close.
what he was looking for.
Oof.
Is he going to keep?
They're going for comedy, so it could be vague.
Funny guys.
All right.
Well, will it be a comedy of errors
Now they're
for
just
picking
kicking
this
back,
category?
relaxing,
Oh,
playing with the
comedy
Here we
is
go.
very
Here we go.
broad.
Here's
And
comedies. 6 questions. We got the
Sometimes it
audience.
works for a team, sometimes it doesn't.
Question 1. Who was the star of the spoof movies Love at First Bite and Zorro the Gay Blade?
George Hamilton.
That's correct
Yeah.
for 2 points. Okay.
Hell of a tan on that guy.
Question 2. In Ferris Bueller's Day Off, what is the name of the Sausage King of Chicago?
Abe Froman.
Abe Froman.
2 more points. That's correct.
Abe Froman.
Okay. Question 3. Which actress played pitcher Kit Keller in A League of Their Own?
Go ahead.
5, 4.
That would be Lori Petty.
That's correct for 2 points.
And just like that, it's only a 4-point game in the family, a logistical chance to take the lead going into round 3.
I just want to make sure it was. Yeah, no, I appreciate
All right, there we go. Here's question number 5? 4, sorry. What former James Bond actor played Happy Gilmore's former boss, Mr. Larson?
Oh,
Richard Keel.
Great question.
Jaws.
What?
Richard Keel.
That's correct. Wow.
Deep cut from Happy Gilmore.
2 more questions. 2 more questions. What 90s film?
Love you, Rox.
What 90s film? Shh. What 90s film has Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau pose as dance hosts in order to get an all-expenses-paid cruise?
Out to sea.
2 more points. Wow. and
Not
it's
quite
tied
the
up.
grumpier old
Yeah.
men level comedy, but they still got it.
Last
either that or
question.
that.
Last
One more
question.
question.
Which Python plays King Arthur in Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
That would be my man, Graham Chapman.
2 more points. Perfect round.
Graham
Yeah.
Chapman, an all-time great. Monty
Wow.
Python, all-time greats in
Wow.
the family, showing themselves as 2 all-time
Wow.
greats in the movie trivia Schmoedown. A lot of people would have been intimidated staring up at a 10-point deficit. Not the family. Now they're up by 2 going into round 3.
They kept it going. Yeah, but you're exactly right. That just shows what a former champion does. He gets up there, he spins the wheel, sticks with comedy, says, let's do it, and runs the board.
That's what a former champion does, and then Andrew Guy takes a nice long pull from his whiskey.
All right, so now we get into round number 3, and with a 2-point lead, Mark, how does it go?
In round number 3, we need a slate of 3 numbers from each team. These numbers can range from 1 to 20. Each number corresponds to a different corner of the movie trivia Schmoedown galaxy. Because this is the team format, here's how it works. You guess your numbers, we'll tell you what your 2-point category is, and at that point the team will have to decide which member is answering that question by their lonesome.
Also, Nico,
The
I forgot to
opposite
say,
member will answer the
are you-
3-point category, and then
are
they
you
may confer
Groot?
only for the 5-point question.
I am
for
Groot.
family. He is
I am
currently
Groot.
enjoying a 2-point lead thanks to Drew's know-how and Drew's drinking. Which 3 numbers would you like to have from 1 to 20?
You know, I've done a lot in this league. I still haven't earned a damn ounce of your respect, and I'm sick of it.
What makes
7, 11, and 13.
7, 11, and 13.
All odds, Christian.
I've been working with him for 10 years, and I still don't have it, so don't worry about it. Inky in the brain.
4, 12, and 16.
4, 12, and 16 for Inky in the brain. All right, we start with Inky in the brain. Now, they've used 2 JTE rules already here, and they start with category number 4. Category number 4. That's Kate Blanchett. Who's taking Kate Blanchett?
Both look excited. Yeah, because she thinks
Take it,
she's
Devon.
gonna get it right. She thinks
Take
she's a
it.
better player, so she wants to take the 3, which is why she's having him take the 2. He doesn't want to take it because he doesn't know Kate Blanchett at all.
Drew
That's
Guy's
the
a future in
play-by-play.
movie trivia Schmoedown
It's actually pretty
commentary.
good. So who's taking it?
And they both know I'm right.
Who's taking it?
It's been like
I'll take it.
You're going to take it. All right, here we
Okay.
go.
He
take
does
it.
know
Here
it.
we go.
This
All
ought
right,
to be
welcome
amusing.
at home.
The
Question,
question hasn't even been asked yet.
question 1, excuse me, for the 2-pointer.
Here, Nico, why don't you take it?
God.
What is the name of, sorry. Kate Blanchett starred as the witch, Florence Zimmerman, opposite Jack Black in this 2018 film.
The house with a clock in its walls.
What the fuck?
Well done.
I've never heard of this movie.
4,
And we can't do multiple choice in this one.
3,
Oh, how many times you played the
All right,
game?
1. Incorrect. Incorrect.
The one where he goes and he's like giant. Gulliver's Island? Gulliver's Travels?
Not even close. The house with the clock in it.
Oh, man, I didn't see that.
I didn't know it either,
So
man.
now we get the
I know.
Now we get the
I know.
3-pointer.
I know when you're bluffing.
The 3-pointer is number 12, and that's Rachel, and that's Tarantino.
Oh,
That's
Hope this plan worked
Tarantino.
out.
Okay.
Here we go.
Ooh.
Tarantino. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I love
right.
Tarantino.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
What is the first and last name of Sam Jackson's character in Quentin Tarantino?
Jules Winfield.
Winfield.
Oh, come on!
Silvestrini, please.
No.
5, 4,
Jules.
3, 2,
Smith.
1.
It's Caesar, actually.
Actually, no, it's Jules Winfield. Jules Winfield.
Oh,
Jules
what the
Winfield.
hell?
All right,
Hey, in
here-
fairness, I
here
forgot
we
it
are
too.
now. Inky in the brain needs to hit
And I've
their
seen
5.
Pulp Fiction.
If they
So.
hit
Look,
their
look,
5,
it's one of
it
my
bounces
favorite
back
movies.
to the family.
I've seen it a lot.
But if
so
they
yeah.
miss, the family will win by TKO. This is the position they were in against the movie guys as well, though.
That's right,
So
Christian. This is where a fate will be sealed. Will Inky in the brain be remembered as just
Yep.
a fun lark that pushed the family in round number 2, or will they actually be able to upset one of the biggest team matches of all time?
spy movies. Spy
Nope.
movies. Here you
It's
go.
all over
Spy
but the
movies.
crying. Sorry, Rachel.
In Mission
You're
Impossible
good.
Fallout, who plays Julia's second husband whom is working with her at the medical camp at the end of
Oh, damn it! Oh, he plays Ricky Fitz in American Beauty. Damn it! What's the name of the actor?
Daniel Bruhl.
5.
No.
Yep,
4,
you have one repeat left.
3,
Use it.
2, last one. In Mission Impossible Fallout, who plays Julia's second
And
husband?
he is in
whom is
Interstellar.
working
I
with
know
her
the
at medical
I know the
camp
face of
at
the
end of
actor,
film.
but damn it.
This is it.
That's it. That's all they have.
5, 4, 3,
Clive Owen.
2, and your winner by way
By
of
TKO.
technical knockout, Drew McQueenie, Drew Guy, the family. The answer was Wes Bentley.
Bentley
was the answer, and American
Wes
Beauty.
Wes Bentley. Yes, that's the
T2,
goddamn name.
isn't that?
And just like that, the family.
So Robert Marbonette, very happy to greet his stable. Drew's still limping, but you got to figure he got a little bit of confidence back.
Oh, yeah.
Drew McQueenie never lacking for it. Andrew Guy may be back to where he was.
Well, Inky and the Brain have nothing to hang
Aw.
on. It was a great match.
Very
They
entertaining,
Really,
too.
it was super
Fun team to watch.
entertaining, And Rachel really wiped up with that.
Look at
with
Devin.
Kevin Smith
He's
category. That they had those three questions in round number 3, just did them in, and with that, the family finds himself at 2-0, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen.
I'm just
But Mark,
saying.
It's just gonna be a very
Devon
interesting.
stays a
post-interview
manager.
with Jen
It's
Sturger.
going to get
But Rachel
loud. You're
needs
gonna
a
need
new
multiple
partner.
microphones. Jen, best of luck.
What's up, Movie Trivia Schmoedown fans? Jen Sturger here with Inky and the Brain. Guys, oh, we all wanted that to go differently out there, and you guys were so close to knocking off the family.
That was on me.
You're supposed to share the microphone.
That was on me. That was my call. The Cape Blanchett was, I was like, it's a 2-pointer. It's going to be a softball. You'll be fine. And then.
Is that what happened?
That's exactly what
Because Guy
happened.
was doing his fake play-by-play.
And I was like, shut up. Get out of my head. Stop being my conscience.
But he does have that ability
He
when he's
does.
out
He
there to
did
get into
get
those
in her
sets.
head,
Did he mess
though.
with you guys the whole time you were out there, or do you feel like you had it pretty under control till that third
We
round?
were good. His intimidation factor is a lot weaker than he lets on, but
Noise canceling headphones help.
Yeah, for the most part. But like, oh man, when it comes to these questions about like these white women, I be missing them. Like I be missing them. You should have known that. Who got the Rihanna question?
You did.
Okay, you give me those. And then Tarantino, that's one of my favorite directors.
I know.
Give him some Stella's got your group back. You guys could
You
have had
know,
a different
girl,
match.
I would have had it.
We're in. Stella's got it.
Oh, man.
We need to get our groove back.
So, yeah, you do need to get your groove back. But, you know, besides that, the crowd absolutely loves you guys, in case you can't tell. I don't think
You guys are the best people ever.
Y'all really are. Y'all
I don't
cool as
think
hell.
that people saw this as like a perfect pairing, but it seems like you guys just have such complementary knowledge and personalities.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like you just seem so much happier in this space.
Girl, you stop.
And like I said, I feel like you guys complement each other so well when it comes to knowledge. I'm just trying to figure out who out there would be a good match for you guys. You know what? It could be a lot of fun. I don't know how great of a match it'll be. You'll definitely win, probably, the Wildberries.
I'm in.
Oh.
I'm in.
I feel like
Yes.
on any given day, depending on what version of the berries show up, that can be an actual match, but it will always be entertaining.
Just put everyone against the wild berries.
Oh, the mild berries.
We're not wanting to go to a Dave Matthews Band concert. We want the wild berries.
No yacht rock for you guys?
No. But I think I did face them as a Kingsman one time.
I think so.
I think
Yes.
so. When we were green.
But you're a new.
Oh, yeah, I mean the other guy. The other
you
guy.
are, but you are a new man. You are.
Oh, I'm a completely different person. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, completely different person.
But anyways, sorry today didn't work out for you guys. But like I said, you're crowd favorites out here, and we can't wait to see who you guys face next.
That's all right. Us too. And all of our matches are close, so it's only a matter of time.
It's gonna happen. And I'm back
It
with
was
the
a TKO.
family.
They had all their questions
Congratulations,
left.
guys. That was a really well played match.
Hey, wait, Jessica. These are the family. And let me
Yes.
just point out that who comes back from a 12-point deficit? These guys, boom, like a Thanos snap, they took this game. These are the #1 contenders in this league. They're going all the way.
I mean, I was kind of impressed you guys actually stuck with comedies because we've seen that can be a pretty broad category out there. Was there any reservation at all?
Oh, I mean, come on. We're the family, all right? We know everything. There's nothing to be scared about. There's no category we fear. I mean, Godfather?
No, they covered a lot of ground this time. 70s, 90s, 2000s. I like that.
So I guess the obvious question is now, who's next? You know, there's a lot of competitors out there that would be worthy opponents of you guys. Were there any that have been catching your eye?
All right, first of all, no one is worthy. There's just always someone next. That's all that it is.
I joined the family for one reason. I want my belt back. And the path to that so far, you know, we've won a couple of matches. You're seeing what we can do. I want a real competitor. I got long-standing beef with JT. Everybody thinks he and Lon are this amazing new team.
Oh.
I know the weakness on any team with JTE on it.
Yes.
So please.
JTE is the weakness of
Yes!
any team with JTE on it.
Please give us them.
Oh,
I want them
please.
next.
All right, well, we'll see what we can work out. Before I let you guys go, Andrew, I do have to ask you about Houston.
No. If this is about Houston, I don't want to talk about it. Oh.
Hi. Sorry, Jesse.
Oh.
I just want to say you guys did an amazing job.
Roxy, just join the
I'm
full.
really
just join
impressed by your
full time.
performance out there
Just quit
today,
the odd
and
couple
I'm
and
really
just
proud of
join
you
these
guys.
yo-hos.
You beat a really tough team, and great job.
Thank you so much, Rox. So good to see you.
It's really good to see you too, and I'm glad you listened.
Oh! Oh, that happened. Oh, that happened. Oh.
Roxy and I.
That was your ex-best friend's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, we're very, very close. That's all I have to say. So, JT and Lon, we'll see you soon. Family out.
Thanks, Jessica.
Well, there's a lot of confusing stuff that went on. Let's talk about the main thing that happened inside of that interview. With they're 2-0 and they call out the evil geniuses. They want JTE and Lon. But what about Roxy Stryer walking in there saying congratulations to Drew Guy and just kind of walking in, walking out? What's going on with those two?
Yeah, it was very odd to see because we've seen the recent events at live settings like Chicago and Houston, and so now when you pair that with her,
it's a romance.
Crash of a post-game interview, but it was very interesting to see her
That's
walk
an
in and add a
understatement.
new dynamic into what we're going to see with the family.
She's just throwing salt on Ben Bateman every chance that she can get, and it's just becoming pretty clear here. We've been seeing this tease, and she walks in there, congratulates him. It's bizarre at the very least.
At least this is a metaphorical slap in the
bizarre.
face.
But Inky and the Brain, they are also talking, and I think Jen said it as much in the interview too, that they keep winning the hearts of the crowd and of the audience, and I don't think that we've seen the last of them. I think a match with Late to the Party would be fun. I think a match with the Wildberries could be fun. I think that they could have a lot of fun matches in their future.
Yeah, I think Inky and the Brain is one of these teams. It's a little contingent on what they spin in round number 2, but if they get that right category, anything is possible. And just as somebody who likes to be entertained when we call these matches, Inky and the Brain, one of my new favorite squads.
All right, so that's it. The family takes the win. Maybe not as easy as some of you thought, because that was a really, really impressive round 2 there by Inky and the Brain. Almost did it, couldn't pull it off. The family finds themselves at 2-0, and Drew McWeeny, Drew Guy, the family riding strong here. Who will they play next? It's a big, big question. For you guys, go on over to the Patreon. We have all these updated tiers right now that have really been something. There's ways to get these shirts that we have at the live events now. There's updated tiers that Emma Fife and yourself have announced, the way that there's like these new, there's a platinum, there's all these different, there's plus, there's a lot of different ways. Go to the Schmoedown Patreon, browse around, see what is right for you, and thank you all for joining us here today.
And if you were going to be in the San Diego area during Comic-Con, we got a big movie trivia Schmoedown event Saturday. You can get tickets right now at theschmoedownlive.com. I'll be doing some stand-up at American Comedy Company Thursday. Who's going to pop in? I don't know. You should probably come to the shows to figure it out. MarkEllisLive.com for those tickets. Christian, we've been working together for 10 years, and you almost have earned my respect. You're this close, my man.
Who needs it? All right, so with that, thank you guys. Make sure you download us here on the Himalaya, whether it's Apple Podcasts, wherever it is. Listen to the shows. They're really fun to listen to audio, especially Ken Knapsack's show, Inside Schmoedown. To listen to that a lot myself on audio. It's a lot of fun, as well as the Schmoedown Rundown. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Well, yeah, okay, look, I'll no persona. I will say, Inky and the Brain, what they show time and time again is they actually do know some stuff, and they need some luck in round 2. That's what I said at the beginning of the match. They did get that luck this time. But where they fold, like they will always have one round that doesn't go well for them. Like usually they score points in round 1, but then either round 2 they get a bad category, or round 3 they just mess up the questions. Especially if it's against a team like Corruption was their first match, I believe, and then now the Family. Like that's why they lose. They face these huge teams that they might take if everything goes well for them. But yeah, everything needs to go well for them, and it didn't today. So I'm not saying that they're bad. I just think that they're not well-rounded enough to face a team like the Family or Corruption. They can play along. They're definitely better than some teams in this league, but yeah. Still, okay, I said a KO. It was still a TKO. And still the Family had all their round 3 questions. So, and you guys talk.
Chris, you first.
I'll just simply say that I'm really glad that Rachel, again, had a chance to sort of shine in this match in the Kevin Smith category. If I've said it once, I'll say it again. I like their chemistry, Rachel and Devon's. But I genuinely do think that Rachel deserves a much better partner. For example, a PJ Campbell caliber player. Like, if you were to put those two together and you had Devon as the manager, that could be a good team.
But wasn't Patrick already supposed to make his debut?
Well, he's still in the fan leagues.
That's been in the rumor works for the longest time.
But because the Flux Incapacitors are still a team, that's, at the moment, debunked. But yeah, I mean, and of course, and let's actually go back to that post match for just 2 seconds here. I'm gonna double down on this. Why hasn't Roxy just left the Odd Couple and joined the Family already?
Okay. Look, to be fair, Roxy managed the Odd Couple to their title, so there's no way she's leaving that. What I think is they should join and make a faction.
But Andreyko won't go along with that.
Well,
okay.
Which would then cause the Odd Couple to break up.
My turn to talk here. Okay. Do I think Inky and the Brain should break up? Absolutely not. I feel like round 3 is entirely circumstantial. We've seen it happen with great teams. One guy would pick the 2-pointer because they thought the 3-pointer would be better suited for the other guy, and it turns out to be the exact opposite scenario. It happens all the time. It just so happened to happen to Inky and the Brain today.
Well,
and then
look, to be fair,
it's my turn. Zip it.
Jesus.
It happens.
Sorry, Mr.
all the
Wrestling guy.
It happens all the time, and so therefore one slip up. They're 1-2. They're a young team. Give them time to develop. Give Devon more time to grow, and he's going to get more time to grow as the season progresses. So be patient. Be patient. Okay? You've been patient with me for the longest time, and the work is paying off. You be patient with him, the work is going to pay off. So cut the man some slack. Secondly, Drew McWeeny isn't much of a heel. He's a scary personality, but he's not much of a heel. Drew Guy is the heel of the group, and Robert Meyer Burnett is the heelish mouth of the group. Roxy Stryer is a bit of a tweener right now because, she has likable people that she manages, but she herself has gone the dark side with that slap and with all the antics she's been doing to piss off Ben Bateman. So I feel like there's logistical probability that the Odd Couple will join with the Family because Drew McWeeny, Mark Andreyko, they are more likable personalities that just have an edge to them. So that can balance out the heelishness of Jeff Snyder and Drew Guy. So in my mind, there's a lot of balance within a group like that. So I think Case is right. Especially with, Frank Janish has been teasing Faction Wars coming up soon. Now, that's just a prediction, but for all we know, Christian was like, hey, listen, write this, put it in the ether, let's see what kind of traction it gets among the fans, And if it gets some positive reviews, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And I think that's what they're going to do. And so they're setting things up for an alliance in which here's another heel faction. Corruption's over here. We now have the 5 Horsemen. And Jay Washington, he seems to be building back up his stable slowly but surely. We also have the Dungeon making their presence felt with new personalities. So they're growing the factions so we can get to this faction war that is supposedly happening. And, it makes sense that there will be strange bedfellows. There will be alliances happening that might not make sense upon the surface, but once you dive deeper into it, then it makes all the more sense for them to pair up.
Look, if you look at the history of Andrejko and factions, he has been going through a whole lot. He started off with the Lion's Den at first, which was a complete heel faction, and then he left that to join with the 5 Club, which was a complete face faction. But then he was kind of just left, and of course, with the Corruption Tournament, he was forced to be partnered with Jeff Snyder. But while initially he also hated Jeff Snyder, he came to terms with him, and now he's a champion with him. So I think that Mark Andrejko wouldn't have that much of an issue joining the family, in all honesty. I think that faction should expand to, have 2 powerhouse teams with some powerhouse competitors, where indeed you have your big mouths in Burnett as the manager mouth, and Snyder and Guy, who will just run their mouths as competitor. And then you have the Drew McWeeny and Mark Andrejko, who are just a little bit more silent on the sidelines, but they answer all the trivia that they need to answer. So I think that could definitely just work. And it's just, if you look at the development over the last couple of years, it just makes sense where we are now compared to where all these factions started a couple of years ago. So I just hope that we can get that faction together and they can wreck some shop, because I know they can do that.
It'll probably happen by Collision, or it'll happen at Collision.
Yeah, and therefore I am very psyched for Collision, not just because we have a couple of great matches coming up, but also we have a couple of great storylines coming up that will definitely come into play. Really culminate at Collision, and that will then continue into the team tournament, the singles tournament, towards Spectacular, which, if they can ramp that up very well, and so far it seems like they are doing that, I know I can't wait for that. I'm definitely liking what they're doing. You guys got any other thoughts? Oh, wait, Evil Geniuses versus the Family. Both teams are 2-0. I can't wait for that match.
Both are the most arrogant teams in the league. So it really just depends on who do we want to have bragging rights when all is said and done. Do we want JTE to have bragging rights, or do we want Andrew Guy to have bragging rights?
Well, if you look at the teams, they're kind of similar in regards to JTE and Guy are the heel mouths that will say, "I'm the fucking best, fuck you," and all that type of shit.
But JTE has backed it up. JTE has backed it up on countless occasions. So he kind of earned the right to talk as much as he wants to.
That's fair. But Guy is backing it up. Look, he did pretty well with Action, and now he's doing well with the Family. As a singles competitor, well, of course, his debut was a lot better than where it has gone, because from then on it just went downhill. But in terms of teams, he is a great competitor. And they have Drew McWeeny and Lon Harris, which are essentially just the trivia minds that will answer so many goddamn questions and are a little bit more reserved. At least I hope that Lon will be a little bit more reserved, because that's what he needs to do. Lon, if he really gets into too much character, that might hurt his performance, as we've seen before. I just know that I'll be rooting for the Family. Yes, I have a bias. I don't care. But I just know that it'll be a great match. Will it be a Collision?
No, it won't be a Collision. It'll probably be like the week beforehand, just to give us a little pepper on the steak.
Appetite.
Yeah. But actually, I can't believe I'm fucking saying this. Out of that particular match, I think I actually want the family to win that one for one reason and for one reason only. Jeff Snyder is a 2-time teams champion. I don't fucking want JTE anywhere near that position to be the same.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm going with the evil geniuses.
What's wrong with you?
I just feel like, JTE, since he's come back, he's been on a warpath. And, Lon has probably realized, okay, listen, JTE, he's got the championship experience. Maybe I should take the character down a notch and just focus on the knowledge a little bit. I'll do my talking in the promo section, and then we'll play to the best of our ability. I just feel like with the JTE we have in the ring right now, that's a scary JTE. That's a motivated JTE because he had a lot of opportunities taken away from him last year, and he wants to claw and scratch his way back to get to those opportunities and cement his place in history. Motivation makes competitors very scary, and JT has the right motivation.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, I think that's all we can say for this reaction. So, guys, please like the video, comment on anything that we said, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And tomorrow, Dave Del Rio, Liz Shannon Miller. That'll be a big, very much anticipated return of 1-0 competitors facing each other, because the winner will face Seth JTE in a pre-number 1 contender match. I think. So that'll be very interesting to see who wins tomorrow. So join us for that. And with that said, guys, Chris, where can people find you online?
You guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Stardust, Letterboxd, and Discord at Skywalker Doman. You guys can follow this very channel on Twitter and Instagram at D2A channel. Please like our Facebook page. And stay tuned this Friday for the Who Cares Anime podcast, where we break down the history of the X-Men films and talk about why they started off so strong and then just crapped the bed so damn hard.
Well, especially with the most recent edition, because I've heard that it's supposed to be the worst X-Men film in history. And that includes films like Origins. Ow. Nico, where can people find you?
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, at Nico Suave Regoli. That's NICOSUAVEREGOLI, or just Nico Suave with 4 random meaningless numbers starting at the end for Discord on the Movie Trivia Face-Off Discord League. You can find me. Multiplex Entertainment is the name of the Facebook group, and the YouTube channel. The Twitter is at MultiplexYT, Instagram Multiplex Entertainment Network, tpublic.com/user/multiplex. Check out me and Zaddy Smith every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Crisis on Earthplex. Combat Wrestling Trivia is the name of the Facebook group. Combat Wrestling Network is the name of the YouTube channel. The poorly made Twitter handle is at Combat Wrestling, the number 2. There is no letter G. If you like wrestling trivia, come find us over there. Adonis Cesario, James Berman III, Raw and SmackDown Breakdown. Let's see here. Rolling Crits, at Rolling Crits on various social media. We're working on it. Give my friends a break. They're new to this space. Let's see here. Right here on D2A, dedicated to art and all the places these two gentlemen will say in just a moment. And the Multimedia Trivia Pop Quiz Championship coming soon.
Indeed. And with that said, we need to figure out a new TV show or something to review because we don't have another review thing going on.
We will have Resistance in a few months, but...
Yeah, but that still takes a few months. Anyway, we'll have to figure something out, because other than that...
and also to be fair, Ryan and I will have Stranger Things, but...
That's true. Otherwise, you can find Ryan hosting Downtoon Dissection, where I will be on the episode pretty soon, talking about Queen, one of the best bands in music history. And yeah, Who Cares Anyway podcast, we do Schmoedown reactions, so... Whenever the Schmoedown is up, you'll find a reaction pretty soon after. And you can find me at Dutch Movie Guy on Twitter, Case Cornelis on Facebook and Letterboxd. And I believe that's about it. So until the next video, probably our Schmoedown reaction or live show tomorrow, take care.
Yeah!